What's up guys, Noah from Stage 3 Motorsports here, and today we're going to be taking a look at our top 3 favorite Super Duty builds from the SEMA show. Now I'm going to kick it off with this BDS Suspension F350, and it actually reminds us a bit of the Ranger that we saw in our Ranger video, so if you want to check that out, it kind of came in as an honorable mention at the end, but it's sort of like that truck on steroids. What we've got here, like I said, is an F350. It's obviously 4-wheel drive, crew cab, and it has the service box on the back from Knapheide. And they basically went with a full-blown overland build for this thing. So it's sitting on a 4-inch lift radius arm system with the Fox 2.5 coilovers. Then they also did some glide ride leaf springs in there to help stabilize all that weight in the back. Now on top of that, you can obviously see that there's a full-blown rack system with the James Brown tent that pops straight up. They've got the Rhino rack backbone with the Pioneer tray on there, and they even have a telescope and a little chair on top, which is kind of funny. But it makes for an ultra utilitarian setup where they can pack that back end full of camping gear, recovery tools, anything you can think of. It looks great. I also love this black on brown two-tone, and it's sort of a deep metallic with a little pinstripe around the outside. It's maybe a little flashy for some people that would call this a utility build, but obviously this is SEMA and I think it really works. Around the outside, you also know we've got some ADD Stealth Fighter bumpers with rigid lighting punched in there. That's a pretty common theme through a lot of these trucks. It's hard to beat rigid as far as durability and light output is concerned, and then the ADD bumpers just fit like a glove with these, and you got just massive amounts of clearance and approach angle, especially on a truck that's this big. Now talking in terms of wheels and tires, you can see we've got some 20-inch Method NVs, and these are wrapped up with a Baja MTZ from Mickey Thompson that's actually a 40, and it's amazing to me how these trucks make a 40 look small and how it can actually just fit this with a 4-inch lift, but it's a wicked setup, and this is definitely a go anywhere type of build. So next up, we've got this F250 from Petal Commander, and right off the bat, one of my favorite things about this build is the matte black wrap with the kind of faded gold details that they put all over this truck. There's faded gold kind of trim in the grille, it's in the headlights, it's obviously in the wrap and in some of the badging. They really did a good job of just making it tasteful to where it's not over the top, but it definitely catches your eye. Now, with that being said, the truck's sitting on an Icon lift with their 2.5 coilovers, remote resis, as well as a dual steering stabilizer system, and it also has a Hellwig sway bar in the back. On top of that, it's sitting on 40-inch mud terrains here, wrapped on 17-inch Icons, which gives it a super mean look because there's just tons of sidewall on this thing. And it's really cool just to see a Super Duty on 40s. I mean, it's a good look for these trucks. With that, on top of the truck, they've got a KC roof rack with their lights across the front where they also color match the covers. Then obviously you can see the side-by-side sitting up there with this whole bed rack system. It's super tall, super wild looking, but then they actually wrap the side-by-side to match the truck, which is pretty neat, and I think it really works for this build. It's actually a vehicle you could use, and if you legitimately wanted to haul something around like that, you could do it. So I do appreciate the utility there, even if it is a little excessive. A few other little details on the truck, you'll see some Fab 4 bumpers as well as a worn winch, and just a couple little accessories bolted on here and there to really complete the look and give it that rugged Super Duty off-road feel. But this one is definitely one of my favorite builds at the show. So for the last Super Duty build I got lined up for you guys, it's this F350, which is built by Nate Day of Someday Adventures, and you guys may have actually seen him on Instagram. This truck is fairly popular. It shows up every once in a while, and he goes out and runs around with his family doing car camping trips and things like that. I really like it because it's actually a little bit older than most of the Super Duties here at the show. It's still 6.7 Power Stroke, and it's built really, really nicely, and obviously he uses this. This is like a functional build for his family, not just some show truck that was trailered here. It's sitting on a BDS lift with the Fox coilovers, remote resis, and then some airbags in the back on top of that. Then as you can see on the outside, we've got the Buckstop bumpers front and back, huge amount of armor, especially on a big truck like an F350. And then there's Baja Designs lights all over the place. We have them in the bumpers, but he's also got these LP6s ran across the roof, and it looks a little wild. It's a lot of light. Just even 2 LP6s is plenty, but I do like that it's a little over the top. It's kind of fun. It works well for this truck. And then he has the front runner rack in the back on top of a snug top topper. With that rack, it's a Lear rooftop tent, and obviously that's what he's using to camp in most of the time, and the topper gives him a lot of area to just store equipment and carry his camping gear for his family with him. In terms of wheels and tires, he's running these 17-inch level 8 wheels in a nice kind of gunmetal gray finish, and those are wrapped in 37-inch BFG KM3s, giving it that ultimate rugged look, and it really fills out the truck. Overall, it's a great build. It really came together nicely, and I love that it's something functional that he uses with his family all the time and isn't just kind of a flashy chromed out SEMA build like you typically see in other videos. So with that, guys, this is going to be a wrap on our top 3 Super Duty builds. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.